Amber. I'm 23 years old, originally from Mid Wales and now living in Stafford. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis around the age of 13, having suffered with odd symptoms for as long as I can recall. Having had that diagnosis, I kind of thought there might be like a one pill cure. I was quite naive, obviously very young, and of course that wasn't really the case. So like many people, I started making my way through the list of treatments available. For me, very little work to get a hold of the symptoms. I was spending a lot more time in hospital than I was in school, having a very low quality of life and just missing out on those really important years, I guess. Fast forward to around the age of 17, I was no longer on any meds, having tried all options, and I was on a family holiday and started to experience a particularly bad flare. So I started taking the meds I had with me, visited the hotel doctor, etc., etc. Again, very little luck. So instead of landing myself in a foreign hospital, I decided to fly home early, go straight to my local hospital, in which I didn't come out for about 8 weeks. And during that period, I had my first emergency surgery to form a temporary stoma. Prior to having my initial stoma surgery, I had no idea what a stoma was really. I was still fairly young, so I was 17. I knew that I was having a surgery, but I didn't know what it was for, what I was going to come out with. I just knew that it needed to happen, and that was the most important thing at the time. I do recall during that particular hospital stay when I was pretty unwell, a stoma care nurse coming to visit me on the ward, and I think I was so poorly I couldn't bring myself to speak to anyone, and two, I was a bit naive and I thought I'd kind of be back out in a couple of weeks, so I didn't really need to speak to anyone about anything further. But of course, very quickly after the surgery, I soon came to learn what a stoma was, how to manage it, and yeah, I'm living quite a full and happy life with one now. The response I had from friends and family was all extremely positive. I come from a very small town in rural Mid Wales, where there's quite a close-knit small community. So people were just generally pleased that I was out of hospital and on the road to recovery and just generally feeling a little bit brighter. I think for me, what really, really helped during that period was starting to share little updates on Instagram, largely because I was too unwell to kind of respond to every message I was getting through. So it was just easier to put a little post together and put it out for everyone to see, and I guess keep up to date with what was going on, which was a huge help for me returning home and to a bit of normality, because people already knew what was going on. I didn't have to sit and explain any of the technicalities because it was all already there for everyone to see. So following the initial surgery, I, like many others, started looking for others that were going through a similar thing to me and were of a similar age, particularly other females. And I really, really struggled to find anyone in a similar position that was kind of, I guess, had gone through the recovery already and was living life to the fullest. As a young woman, that was quite disheartening. So I turned to Instagram and made my own little Instagram page, through which I started unlocking and finding, I guess, other people that were going through similar things to me. It was a little bit unintentional because I obviously had failed to find any of those people previously, which I could see was really helping them and was helping me immensely. So I just carried on really, and things snowballed from there. And over the past years, I've had some incredible opportunities working with various brands, doing various bits of media. And I've even been able to develop and create my own podcast, which focuses on speaking to other Ostomates about important topics, and more broadly, general day-to-day life, living with chronic illness, a stoma, whatever it may be, because I feel like having those conversations to tap into when I was going through surgery, and even diagnosis would have been super, super useful. like many people, I started trialing different bags, different products to find the best thing for me personally. And it was super important to me that I found something that I was really comfortable and confident with, because I wanted to flaunt it, get back to normal, just live my life to the fullest. So that was a big part of it for me. So I remember when I was in my first year of uni, I found out about the ConfidenceBE launching. Absolutely over the moon, because I hadn't seen or tried anything similar to that before. So I got my hands on it as soon as possible. Unfortunately, it didn't work for me because the initial phase was a flat wafer. So as much as I tried to make it work for me, it just wasn't happening, and I was absolutely gutted. But sometime later, I remember seeing that the Convex was launching. So again, rushed to get my hands on it and trial it as soon as possible. This time, it worked incredibly well for me, and I was absolutely over the moon. It had been what I was waiting for since that initial trial. So I've not really looked back since. For me, what I really like about ConfidenceBE is the colourway. So the fact that you can have choice over the colour of bag you want to wear, I think that's incredible, and that's something I'd not experienced previous. So for me, that's been a great help. I love the black one. I also love the form of the bag. I think it works really well for me. It's really subtle and discreet and just generally comfortable. It just works really well, and the clothes and the outfits I want to wear, and just gives me that bit of confidence and when I'm on holiday and on the beach and kind of flaunting it, I guess. So much so that other people pick up on the bag and the fact that it looks really stylish and it looks good. So last summer, me and a friend that's also got an ostomy were on the beach in low-rise bikinis, both wearing the black ConfidenceBE. And we asked a lady on the beach to take a photo for us. So she took the photo, brought the phone back, wanted us to double check that it was all okay. And she asked what it was we were wearing on our stomach. So she thought it was like a cool, innovative new bum bag. She said that her kids could really do with one when they're on the beach, because they're a nightmare for breaking things and losing things, which was really lovely because she was commenting on just how nice it looked and how she wanted one, basically. So it really just does show how innovative and forward-thinking the design is overall, I guess, because people don't even realise it's a stoma bag. Ostomy was a real passion of mine, so I withdrew my uni application to study architecture and soon reapplied to do product design, in which I very passionately pushed that 3 years in the direction of medical device design. So when ConfidenceBE launched, I was over the moon, both as a user and a designer, because it was a very innovative new design. So once I got my hands on it and started using it, I was really appreciative of the form and some of the subtleties in the material selection and manufacturing processes. I think it all ties into the overall great user experience of the bag. As a result of sharing on social media and being involved with various campaigns over the years, various incredible opportunities have arisen that I could have kind of never dreamed of being involved with prior to sharing online and sharing my life with an ostomy. One of which more recently was being asked to be a cover girl for Glamour Magazine, which felt like a real milestone, I guess, because I'd never seen anyone in a similar position to myself with scars and stoma on the front of such a big magazine, and a magazine that I grew up reading and looking up to, I guess, the people on the covers of those magazines. So it was a real honour and pleasure to be asked to be a cover girl and also include a piece inside about my experiences of living with a stoma, raising awareness for a stoma, bowel disease, wider invisible disability, as well as a piece on developing self-love and, I guess, growing and learning to accept and love your body, and despite the changes it's been through, and I guess worthy of living a very full and normal life. Despite it helping me in my own personal journey and learnings, ultimately I share online and do all this various work to help educate and empower others, no matter what stage of their journey they're at, or if they're just curious and want to learn. So, knowing that it helps people and the things that I put out and put my energy into genuinely do help others in their journeys, honestly just means the world to me. And it really does give me that push to carry on. Having a stoma has impacted my life immensely. I know everybody's journeys are different and everyone's kind of working on a different time scale, but for me, it has made a huge positive impact in terms of giving me my life back, allowing me to return to doing normal things or even do things I was never able to do prior because of my health. I've done various fitness challenges, I've traveled the world, I've gone to uni, changed career paths because of it. So for me, it's been a real big positive, and I've been lucky enough to unlock this community of incredible people that are going through similar things to myself and see them grow and learn and change. I'm so proud and pleased, I guess, of where I'm at the moment and excited to see what life brings for me moving forward.